You've got to be willing to change your ways. Your life is working. If you don't like what you have produced, you're a director, you are the star, you wrote this script. Victor Frankl calls it unavoidable suffering. You can't duck it. But most people spend their life not wanting to deal with the pain of rejection, the pain of defeat, the pain of being disappointed, the pain of losing, the pain of failure, the pain of being criticized, the pain of not being liked, the pain. That's called life.
All of us have within us this amazing capacity to manifest and attract anything that we want into our life. So how we call it, what words that we use, we have to be able to say, you get what you want, and what is missing is that you say, I will attract into my life what I am, not what I want. And I am capable of attracting all things that the source is capable of attracting.
God didn't bring you in this world to be average.
Find the love of my life. I want to be a world-class creative. I want to multiply my financial life. Where do I start? You just start. You just start. There's great power in the start.
You control your story, nobody else. Even if you've given away your pen and someone else has written some things, or maybe you don't even like what you've written in the past, you control this one here. What will you do with it? That is where your power is. You can do nothing about the chapters that are behind you, but you have so much opportunity to write the best chapters that are in front of you. The revelation is, I control my pen. I am the greatest narrator of my life. I will control the narrative and the commentary about who I am. People can make of it what they will, but I'm in control. So if you don't like the stories and the chapters that have preceded whatever you're dealing with right now, what a great day to maybe start that first sentence of what your new chapter is going to look like. You control that. Nobody else. Nobody else can do it for you. Nobody else can write it for you. People can encourage you, but at some point you got to pick up the pen of ownership and say, this is me, this is my life, this is who I want to be. Who might you become if you invested in that person?
People are afraid of their own power because it comes with a great deal of accountability and responsibility.
Listen to me. Quit running away from the gift. Your gift will make room for you. Stop trying to be something you ain't gifted at. Identify your God-given gift and go and get your life. Quit tripping because you don't have what a group of people told you you need to be successful. All of you have this gift. Identify it. It's the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's what you should be doing. You're wasting your time pursuing your passion.
It says life is not linear, it's cyclical. Accepting this allows us to flow with the process instead of resisting it, like we just said. Understand that life is cyclical. You are going to move in cycles as an individual, right? So don't get so emotionally attached to the seasons where everything feels good that you think that that's how your whole life should be forever. Because the moment it isn't that, you're going to feel like everything's hitting the fan. Something's wrong. You're doing something wrong. You're going to internalize that and identify with that. Just because you don't feel good doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. Just because things are difficult does not mean you're going the wrong direction. No, it's a part of moving in the right direction, and you have to be willing to embrace those times. Understanding they're serving a greater purpose. You have to remind yourself of this. Understand it is serving a greater purpose. This is part of the journey, and it will not last forever.
When opposition and adversity hits, you will have a way of embracing it and using it, not only for yourself, but you will use it to make everybody that's connected to you stronger, because your vision has to be larger than yourself. If everything that you do is just about you and for your personal gain, something's going to come up against you that's going to be a lot tougher than you. And if it's just about you, the moment you hit it, you're going to quit and give up every time.
To fall asleep, you must pretend to be asleep first. And that's pretty much how everything works. If you want to be confident, you start walking like you already are. If you want to be successful, you simply start thinking and acting like you have already made it. Because the gap of who you are and who you're wanting to become isn't crossed by waiting for permission. It's crossed by acting like the person you want to become. Before people notice, before your bank account changes, or before you really even believe in it yourself. Your future self is not waiting for you to arrive. They're waiting for you to start pretending until pretending becomes being, and then eventually you'll just forget you were pretending at all.
Got to chase that dream before you die. You should go and live your dream. Just go see. God puts your real life in your imagination. That's where your real life ain't in your present circumstance. Your real life is not in your paycheck. Your real life is not in your current situation. Your real life, he tucks it away in your imagination.
Every single day in every aspect of our lives and the things we're privileged to do and the people we're connected to. When the situation or the moment does not go our way, because we all know what to do when it goes right. But when God says no, who will you be? But most importantly, who's watching you and who can be blessed by the opposition, the adversity, and the challenge that you're facing?
I want you to think about doing a work that you feel that's the calling for you, and that you go to bed thinking about it. You wake up looking forward to doing it. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about doing something for someone that you love, and the joy that you will get out of sharing some experiences with that person that you love, or somebody that has done something special for you. And I want to say to you, this is your time to do it.
The nobler the aim, the better your life. If you don't have a noble aim, then you have nothing but shallow, trivial pleasures, and they don't sustain you. And that's not good, because life is so difficult, it's so much suffering, it's so complex. It ends and everyone dies and it's painful. It's like without a noble aim, how can you withstand any of that? You can't. You become desperate, and once you become desperate, things go from bad to worse very rapidly.
Ladies and gentlemen, it takes courage to live your dreams. It takes courage to manifest your greatness. It takes courage to decide to live. To decide to bring out all of your talents and abilities. To decide to stretch out. To decide to take a chance. It takes courage to be happy, just to be you.
Assuming that you have a certain intrinsic value, and that it's necessary for that value to manifest itself, for you to push yourself against the world, to challenge yourself, because otherwise what you're capable of won't manifest itself. It has to be developed. It has to be called forth by necessity, right? You have to pick a hard problem and try to solve it and push yourself against it and you have to try to do that truthfully and responsibly in order for what it is that you're intrinsically capable of and composed of to come to the forefront, and also to point out that you have a moral responsibility to do so for yourself just as you do for others.
We're not taught to love ourselves. We're not taught to look out for ourselves. We're not taught to take care of ourselves, to become sensitive to our wants, to our needs, our desires. So make a conscious effort. Make you number one priority. Your peace of mind, your health is more important than your family and any and everybody. Because if you don't have peace of mind, if you don't have your health, you can't serve anybody. Don't neglect yourself.
Only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible. You have to be able to see what doesn't exist in order to be able to pull off or achieve what in most people's minds seems to be impossible. Only those that can see the invisible, being able to see what's not there,
What is your idea? What is your vision? What was that God-sent dream?
Einstein said imagination is everything. It's a preview to life's coming attractions. Everything you imagine is a preview to a coming attraction.
You have to act on your passion. You have to act on your inner drive. Don't let those feelings stay inside of you. You got to know what to do with them. You got to know how to make them work in order to get what you want. Don't keep it inside. This is about being able to think like a champion. Suffering is a test. That's all it is. Suffering is the true test of life. In times of suffering, what we do is we forget how hard we really are. You have to believe in one thing, and that is yourself. But you've got to go inside yourself to find it. But if you're not looking for it, you won't find it. It's a reminder of who you truly are at the core of yourself. And if you don't know that, you will live the rest of your life searching, always asking the question, why?
You never allow yourself to say the words, I'm out of moves. You're never out of moves. You're never out of options, right? There is always something else that you can do. Avoid a mortality event. The name of the game is to stay in business long enough to figure it out. It is very okay to not know what you're doing right now. It is very much not okay to stand still. The only wrong move in life ever is standing still. Indecision will kill you. Mistakes will not.
The work that I'm now on this planet to do, and that I would argue anyone is on this planet to do, is find a way every day to honor the intention of a creator who had very intentional design in the way that you were put together and the way that you've experienced the things that you have. So my question was, why was I created? Like, what was the intention?
God didn't bring you in this world to wake up and die one day and just be another person that lived and died and didn't do anything significant in this world. Let me say something. It's very important that you listen to this. You have to be relentless. You have to never let off the gas, never stop, never quit. Never allow anyone to talk you out of the dream, the vision, and ideas that God has sent you.
You're going to fall flat on your face. You're going to be criticized when you come out into the arena called life. You're going to feel awkward and stupid and dumb sometimes. It goes with the territory.
When you are struggling with what to do, who you are, what's your next move, you are in an identity crisis. You are struggling with just who you are. See, you have not discovered who you are. You have to discover who you are in order to move you forward.
Most of you
You're so consumed with everything that's going on in the world. This is the reasons you haven't figured out your own life yet. You can never shine trying to sit on someone else's sun. You can never figure out who you are if you're consumed in everything that everybody else is and what they're doing and the moves that they're making.
Once I see it, once I feel it, once I see where I was broken, then I can attack that weakness. I can fill in that gap. I can reinforce that breach.
Your life, guys, it's not about making money. It's not about having the titles. Your life is about a moment to come. It's inevitable. We cannot stop it from coming. Right now, we have the most valuable asset on earth on our side, time, but it's running out. And right now, you guys are sitting there. And to make that first step towards greatness is the hardest step. But there is one thing harder than that, my friends. It's later in life. As you look back on your life, the windows of opportunity has closed. Your ability is no longer present.
Things go wrong.
they always seem to happen at once, and they just compound on top of each other. And it's pretty easy sometimes to feel beaten when you're faced with all those issues and all those problems, and they all hit you at the same time. When I wake up in the morning, I don't think, am I motivated to go do what I'm supposed to do? No, I don't think about it for 1 millisecond. When the alarm clock goes off, I have no thought about whether this is easy, whether this is hard, whether I want to do it, whether I don't want to do it. None of that matters. It's an emotionless, thoughtless discipline. When the alarm clock goes off, you get up, you get out of bed, and you go do what you're supposed to do. I don't care how it feels. I don't care if it's easy or hard. It doesn't even matter to me. It's just a reaction, it's a discipline, and it's life. And that's the way I choose to live my life.
That doesn't mean give up. The work you do when no one's around isn't just about improving your performance. It's about redefining who you are. Every rep, every choice, every hard decision in private builds something deeper than results. It builds trust with yourself. Trust that when the pressure's on, you won't fold. Trust that when everyone's watching, you won't be pretending. You'll be living the product of your preparation. Because when you show up for yourself, when no one's keeping score, you create a version of yourself that can't lose.
The reason discipline is hard to maintain is because it is hard to maintain. That's what makes discipline hard. It's hard.
As Nassim Taleb says, things that are robust, that are strong, that are tough, that can take just a lot of abuse before they break, they are still ultimately defined by their breaking point. Something that is anti-fragile, on the other hand, is something that the more you attack it, the more it is pounded on, the stronger it gets. Now imagine being able to build a belief system, the thing that you build your self-esteem around, if all of that were tied to something that is truly anti-fragile, that the more somebody comes after it, the more robust it becomes. Being a learner is that answer. You've got creativeness in you. You've got genius in you. You've got goodness in you. If you decide to take the initiative to change the current quality of your life, I say to you that you will find that the universe is on your side.
So, you want to get better? You want to self-improve? Stop looking for a shortcut and go find your alarm clock and find your discipline and find your guts and your passion and your drive and find your will. And then you will find your freedom.
Now this is very important, so listen. You're not great because you're poor. You're not great because you're rich. Your greatness is not based upon your income. It's not based upon inheritance. Greatness is not talent. Greatness is not talent. There are some people who are good at doing, but they're not good at being. They're great at doing something, but they're not great at being someone.
You don't build an amazing life or business or relationship by waiting for the perfect moment. You do it by showing up every day, regardless of how you feel, you do it anyways. That's how you win the game of life, with the mentality of I do it anyways.
You cannot grow. You cannot mature. You cannot get better. You can't become anything of value to yourself or to anyone else if you shut the door to regrets. Now, you don't let regrets drag you down. You don't let them destroy you. All right, I've talked about this before. You don't let the man that you used to be destroy the man that you are today or the man that you're trying to be today. All right? But balanced regret is what helps you become a better man. Unbalanced guilt is what destroys you. Unbalanced guilt of who you were and what you were in the past or today destroys you. Balanced, open-eyed, thoughtful regret of poor decisions you made in the past is what helps you build and become better and become stronger. That is that check valve that helps you not make that decision again.
The knowledge that you have emerged wiser and stronger from setbacks means that you are, ever after, secure in your ability to survive. You will never truly know yourself or the strength of your relationships until both have been tested by adversity. Such knowledge is a true gift, and for all that it is painfully won, and it has been worth more than any qualification I ever earned. That personal happiness lies in knowing that life is not a checklist of acquisition or achievement. Your qualifications, your CV, are not your life. Life is difficult and complicated and beyond anyone's total control. And the humility to know that will enable you to survive its vicissitudes.
Question yourself. Question yourself every day. Ask yourself, who am I? What have I learned? What have I created? What forward progress have I made? Who have I helped? What am I doing to improve myself today to get better, faster, stronger, healthier, smarter? Is this what I want to be? Is this all I've got? Is this everything I can give? Is this going to be my life? Do I accept that? And realize that all of us can do better. We can be better. And it starts when you begin to ask those questions. So ask the hard questions of yourself and find the path to progress and discipline and to freedom inside the answers.
Each of us must turn inward and destroy in himself all that he thinks he ought to destroy in others. Each of us must turn inward and destroy in himself all that he thinks he ought to destroy in others.
The very thing you're pursuing in your life is very simple. It is fulfillment. That's it. Now, I sum up fulfillment very simply. How do you feel about yourself when you're by yourself? Do you feel good? Do you feel like you're making the most of your life? Are you tapping into what the Greeks call techne? So you really have to work hard for a set of skills that matter to you.
Remember, the mind controls the body. The body does not control the mind. What makes these guys special and successful in everything they do is not their physical gifts, it's their mental toughness. They have the ability not to think when everyone else is thinking. Decide, commit, act.
What is yours that you're not owning? Own it. Like, what's yours? Now, we're not talking about something somebody else wants you to own. Start pointing your finger, you lose power immediately. As soon as you start saying it's somebody else's fault, what you do is say, I'm a child, and I need somebody grown to handle this.
And so whatever the volcano is, you have the capacity to take that volcano on, the capacity to jump in it and find your true identity. Here's another thing that keeps a lot of people from taking on the volcanoes and jumping into the challenges that they're confronted with: the fear of making mistakes or not feeling good enough. Guess what? You're going to make some mistakes.
You're going to make a lot of mistakes. God said this is true. He said the person who's never made a mistake hasn't done anything.
You know, I think it comes down to the fact that seeing other people just accept the limitations of everyone and everything else for themselves arbitrarily, that is wild to me. That's something that has never made sense to me. And if there's anything I can do to tell somebody that they don't need to do that, then that's my why. That's my goal. You know, I grew up hearing people constantly, oh, you're going to do this. You're going to be like this. You're going to, no. Why would that be the case? You know, I'd hear when you complain about nap time when you're 6 years old in kindergarten, oh, you're going to want nap time when you're this old. No, I don't want nap time. I have sleep time, and then I want to be doing things during the day because I like the point that I've gotten to. I like what I spend my energy on.
Make a promise and keep it every single day of your life, and you will no longer be afraid of yourself. The fear only comes from uncertainty, and if you don't know what to expect from you, that's what gets you in trouble. If you're a thoughtful person with strong intention, it probably feels like everyone's against you, so you better get on your own team so you don't feel alone. When you're on your own team, keeping the promises, you will sacrifice a lot. But I will tell you from experience that the sacrifice is worth every single moment once you realize you don't have to bear the emptiness that consumes all too much of this world.
There are times in your life when you're not going to be happy, and then what are you going to do? Your goal is demolished, and there are going to be plenty of times in your life when you're not happy. There might be years, and so it's a shallow boat in a very rough ocean.
You need a vision for your life. Vision is the ability to look into the invisible and to create and to see that which does not exist.
Those steps for success, they're infinite. They are infinite, and you cannot count them. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it, those steps are constantly shifting. You don't know if they're there. Sometimes you have to trust that the next step is going to be there when you can't even see it. And sometimes when you step on that step, you go right into quicksand. But you got to be able to pull yourself back out of it again. So everybody's looking for these steps, and there are no steps. Those steps never end.
The tragedy of life doesn't lie in not reaching your goal. The tragedy of life lies in having no goal to reach. It isn't a calamity to die with dreams unfulfilled, but it is a calamity not to dream. It is not a disgrace not to reach the stars, but it is a disgrace to have no stars to reach for.
There's a choice that we have to make as people, as individuals. If you want to be great at something, it's a choice that you have to make. We all can be masters at our craft, but you have to make a choice. What I mean by that is the inherent sacrifices that come along with that. Family time, hanging out with your friends, being a great friend, right? Being a great son, nephew, whatever the case may be. There's sacrifices that come along with making that decision.
Don't give in to the immediate gratification that is whispering in your ear. Shut that down. Do not listen to that little voice. Instead, go through the motions. Lift the weights, sprint the hill, work on the project, get out of bed.
Let the sand in the glass represent your life. Let the sand in the bottom of the glass represent the past. The sand in the top of the glass will represent the future.
The sand in the bottom of the glass represents the past. Everything that has happened right up to this moment in your life has been absolutely essential to make you the person you are, to prepare you to do whatever it is you're going to do. I'm of the opinion that we never really know what we're preparing ourselves for. But if we're using the right ideas, we can be absolutely certain it's something great. The top of the glass represents the future. There's absolutely no way that any of us can tell how much sand there is in the top of our glass. And to spend your time focusing on the past is to spend the only thing that you've got, and that's what's right here, right now, because the sand never stops running.
Fear says, what if? Faith says, even if. What if it all falls apart? Even if it all falls apart, I'll build it back stronger than before. Fear creates disasters that haven't happened. Faith prepares you to endure them if they do. Feel the fear. Have faith it will all work out. Do the work anyway.
Life is on your side. Now, will it be turbulent? Yes. Will it be easy? No. Will you have some opposition? Yes. Will I make a lot of mistakes? Yes.
Your worst chapter is not your last chapter. What if what I've gone through is exactly what somebody else is going through? And if I can help somebody else build a bridge, then why not give it a shot? And I think for me, someone once said to me, to my face, the moment you can take the hardest thing in your life and take more from it than it took from you, your life will change forever.
The boredom of normalcy and the numbness of mediocrity stiffens your passions.
Turn a deaf ear to people that all they can do is talk about how negative things are because they have bought into the consciousness of the world. So we created this in our minds, false evidence appearing real. We made it real in our minds. That's why Churchill said there's nothing to fear but fear itself.
Greatness is not cheap. Greatness will cost you something. Greatness will cost you something, not somebody else. It'll cost you something. It's going to cost you some time. It's going to cost you some energy. It's going to cost you some sacrifice. It's going to cost you some resources. It's going to cost you some hours of your life laying down, paying the price, going the extra mile, doing what other people are not willing to do. Greatness is not cheap. Greatness always costs more. That's why there's not many people who achieve greatness. They're not willing to pay the price.
The difference between ordinary people and extraordinary people is one word, extra. If you put extra on top of ordinary, you become extraordinary. You ain't got to be like everybody else. What's the benefit of allowing fear to hold you back? What's the benefit of giving up on yourself, of not stepping out on life and taking life on? What is the benefit to you? What's the plus in that?
When you're chasing a dream, when you're sacrificing, when you're going for things, and how do you get to a space and place? It says not failure, but low aim is sin, right? It's all right to fail and seek of those dreams, goals, and aspirations, but when you be careful that you're reaching for the stars that everybody you love don't get burned up by the heat, that's a totally different animal, right? When you're reaching for it, how can we look at it, self-assess, and look at it in such a way to where, all right, I got my goals, my dreams, and my aspirations, but what is this going to affect?
Maybe you here because you need to hear this here. Maybe you here because you need to dust off your dreams. Maybe you need to explore your imagination.
That's just you telling yourself another thing that will keep you
where you are for a longer period of time. And where you are is somewhere that you don't want to be.
They couldn't have gotten you there any better, but by throwing those bricks at you, they gave you the material that was necessary to be more, so you can do more.
Don't forget what makes you great. Hard work, humility, working on your craft, playing the long game, understanding the genius takes decades versus good genetics. Never lose yourself on the way to the top. To thine own self be true. Never betray your authenticity. Never lose your boots on the groundedness. And so to thine self be true means as you make your rise to legendary.
Listen to me, man. You have a great life in front of you. But your great life is in front of you. It's not behind you. What you did back there ain't got nothing to do with what God got for you. What you did back there was learn the lessons to get you to where you are at this particular moment right here. But what God got for you, do you know, man, that you can actually mess your life completely up? You can jack it all the way up and you can turn around and get it right. The first way to get focus is to find purpose. The way to find purpose is you must identify what it is that you have to be purposeful in. To find your way in life is not an external search, it's an internal search.
Fear of failure can keep you from taking risk. It can leave you sitting there paralyzed into not taking action. But I don't want you to overcome fear of failure. I want you to be afraid of failure. Fear of failure is good. Fear of failure will keep you up at night planning, rehearsing.
See, but the real challenge of growth, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, comes when you get knocked down. Somebody said that adversity introduces a man to himself or woman. How you handle it, that's where the growth takes place.
Feed what I want to do, feed where I want to go, starve the negativity, starve the destructive behavior. It'll die when I feed growth. The greatest tool you and I have as people, and this is what makes us unique beyond every other living being entity that has a heartbeat on this planet, every other animal, I don't care what's out there that's a living organism. What makes you and I unique is whatever we put our time and our focus into grows.
And we can thrive under the difficult conditions that make up our lives, and we can resist the malevolence that entices us. That's within our power, and we don't know the limits to that. And we also know that it's better to, we all know this, it is better to live courageously than cowardly. Know that it's better to live truthfully than in deceit. And you can tell that too, because that's also what you tell people that you love. And we know that you should pick up your damn responsibility and move forward.
No matter how long you nurse a grudge, it won't get better. You can have a grudge against life. You can have a grudge against circumstances that you were placed in that are so unfair. You can have a grudge against all kinds of things, and if you're not careful, you'll begin to nurse that grudge, and you'll begin to develop a bad report. This is no time, the time that we're living in, this is no time to nurse it, rehearse it, and disperse it. This is a time to reverse it.
Because we all gonna hit that wall. We're all gonna hit opposition. We're all gonna hit adversity. But I think we all know at the core, it's never about what happens to you, it's about how you respond to it. You can control that. Like people are resilient. Got the fortitude. Like you put a goal in front of them, they'll smash it, they'll chase it down. People are resilient. Like when you put goals in front of them, they chase it. Resilient. Right? And if you're resilient, you'll get whatever you're looking for if you're resilient.
And you know what the definition of crazy is? The definition of crazy is being able to see and do things that nobody else can see. That's all crazy is. If you haven't been called crazy, you've done nothing in your life. If you haven't been called off, if you haven't been called insane, people always ask, man, people go, man, what's wrong with Grover? You know what my answer is? Everything. I'm not afraid to be off. I'm not afraid to speak my mind.
Commitment is staying true to what you said you were going to do long after the move that you have set it in has left. You see, people think commitment is saying, yes, I'll do it on the days when it feels good. But I have been committed to everything that I ever started in my life, and I never stopped and I never quit it. And so by being committed to everything that I started, I finished it. It built a certain type of spirit. It built a certain type of mentality. It built a certain type of individual. And so now I couldn't quit even if I wanted to. I couldn't lay in the bed even if I wanted to. I couldn't stop even if I wanted to. I had too much sweat equity in my life and everything that I was doing.
That second that just went by, that counted. And so did that second. And so did that one. And in those precious seconds, you were either building or you were decaying. You were either gaining ground or you were losing ground. In that second.
Even resistance hums like invitation. The obstacles are alive, but they're willing to be reshaped. Yes, you are not here to escape the dark, but to teach it how to speak in vibrant color.
To become, to embody a mindset of confidence, of strength, of optimism, growth, tenacity. The kind of person who makes lemons into lemonade. Like for me, my single word is captain. I'm the captain now. And when I conjure the vision of what it means to be the captain of my ship, I embody a mindset that says, irrespective of the size of the swells, irrespective of the winds that blows or don't, I am the captain of this ship.
Success and failure are generally slow processes. Either slowly building things up or gradually tearing them down. And that's why I say you've got to pay attention. You have to watch. You have to watch every single second. Because those seconds, they turn into minutes. And minutes turn into hours, and hours turn into days, and days turn into years.
What kind of permission do you need to do the thing that you and I both know you really want to do? The thing that not everyone is going to approve of, but you know you're meant to do? What kind of permission do you need to get up and get after it? Yes, there's some risk, mostly just a bruised ego, but you know what's a hell of a lot worse than that? Living with the regret of inaction. Knowing the thing that you need need to do, the scary steps that you have to take to grow into the person that you know you want to be, and doing nothing. So if you need it, this is your permission slip. Go do what you need to do.
What do you want to do? What do you want to get great at? Because if you apply yourself, even if you're not good yet, you can get good. How do I know that? Because you're the average human. And the average human is the ultimate adaptation machine. This is all about discipline, focused energy into acquiring a skill set. It's what I call the only belief that matters.
You got to call forth some things in you. Words are powerful. You got to speak your success into existence. This is your time. Don't argue. This is your time. I want you to think about what you want and how you would feel once you achieve that. If it's achieving a certain goal that you have in mind, if it's being financially free, if it's having a relationship that's meaningful, that's loving, that's honest.
Fear of failure will keep you training harder. Fear of failure will stop you from cutting corners. Fear of failure will keep you working, thinking, striving, and relentlessly trying to be more prepared for battle. So I want you to be afraid of failing.
But in order to become that somebody, you've got to discover, what is it that my body loves doing? What is it that my mind can't take off of it? What is it that keeps me up at night? What is it that stirs me up when I see it? What gets me emotionally involved, engaged, and connected? Because you found your calling. And calling is the exact word you want to use, because your passion and your purpose have been calling you before you were born.
You can jack your life all the way up. God is in the forgiving business. You can make all the mistakes you want to make or think you shouldn't make. God is in the get it together business. If you got dreams and visions, I got news for you. God is in the make your dream come true business. He did it for me. How he won't do it for you?
Where would you be if you observed and judged your own behavior the exact same way that you observe and judge other people's behavior? They watch people do things and they're like, why do they act that way? Why do they make those decisions? Do you ever stop to ask yourself those questions? What if you gave yourself the criticism that you so easily dish out to other people? You got no problem being the armchair quarterback of everyone else's day-to-day lives, but you don't stop to look yourself in the mirror. If you question your own behavior, your own thoughts, your own decisions, just like you do everyone else, I guarantee you're going to find a lot of problems that you're going to want to solve. Problems that if you solve them, you could change your whole life. And you're never going to figure any of that out if your eyes are on everyone else. You're going to spend your whole life focusing on problems that you can't solve.
I'm bigger than this. Make a declaration to yourself. Declare all out war that you're going to get out of this rut. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how much you work on yourself. There are some times when things aren't going to go right. They just are not going to go right. There are times when anything that can happen will happen. Murphy's Law will be knocking at your door. Why? I don't know why. That's called life.
At a point, you just have to start doing it for a love of the game.
I've said this many times before. Living a life of fulfillment and purpose is war. And to be more specific, spiritual war. But also, it doesn't mean it has to be this dreadful thing. Like, yeah, it can certainly be treacherous. There's no doubting that. But there's also kind of a beauty there. Something like a dance or a hauntingly beautiful poem. So like, yeah, it can be hard sometimes. But now such a statement seems so shallow.
If you wake up in the morning and you start having negative thoughts, man, this ain't my day. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I just don't feel myself. In the middle of the day, if you feel yourself doing that, just stop for a second and start going over in your mind everything you have to be grateful for. Everything you already have. Because what you have is substantial. You just haven't gone over the list and taken inventory in a long time.
Just take action, keep doing it, keep doing what you're doing, keep moving forward. And actually pushing the edges showed me that coming back to the center is a blessing.
Appreciating the mundanity, the small moments.
Like, I believe in life, you got two separate people. You got champions, right? And they go through things in life that are self-inflicted. They bring it upon themselves, they get through it, they say, man, I got through it. And then you got warriors, right? They walk outside, the wind hits them, knocks them down, they pick up their stuff, they adjust, and they get moving, and they deal with the adversity that they didn't expect. They set their perspective right, and they figure out a way to embrace it and add value to every environment that they go into and every person's life that they come in contact with.
Every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance, it's definitely a chance for you to give up and for you to just to fall apart.
So you that is, you are facing a challenge, don't stop. Stay busy. Work your plan. Continue to do those things that you know that work for you. Continue to move. Stay busy, stay busy, stay busy.
And so many people, they need to have a 5K, a 10K. I need to have a course in front of me. I need to have something in front of me for me to get my fucking ass up and do some shit. And that used to be me. And nowadays, you know, for the past 20-some years, I don't need a purpose. And people miss out on this, man. The purpose, we're all looking for this golden purpose. Is it this? Is it that? Is it making money? Is it my family? Motherfucker, the purpose is you.
There is no secret. There is no quick fix. There is no hack. There is no path of least resistance. The quickest way for you to go from where the f you are to where you want to be is that you're trying to avoid doing.
It's hard to move on when you have programmed yourself to focus on what you don't have, y'all. You know, a lot of us, we stuck. We stuck in the season. We stuck in grief. We stuck in pain. We stuck in just average. We just stuck in the day-to-day. And there's some things that we need to move on to. Let me say this.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. You keep playing with your potential. Your potential is sky high, but you keep playing to the floor. You don't realize that you have a gift that you're not using. You're literally just a mentality switch away from doing everything that you set out to do. I believe in you, dog. I want you to do it. Be safe.
Ask yourself the question, what would your life look like if you decided not to care what people thought of you? So a lot of people, if you've never made any major blunders, made some major mistakes, taken some serious risks, you haven't started living yet. You don't call that living. Not rocking the boat, going through life quietly, tiptoeing safely to an early grave.
I know from living that if you quit whatever you're trying to accomplish, if you quit, whatever you were trying to accomplish can never happen. There's not even a remote possibility. If you quit, there is no chance
of it popping back up again, coming back later. Quitting is guaranteed failure. Now, when you're trying, you're going to fail. But quitting, just stopping, that was the number one thing I understood. And then number two, you have to make sure that your dreams, your aspirations and goals are so big that not accomplishing them is not an option.
You need to continue to dream of your future. Praise God. Continue to dream of your future. Or stay in the present and work on it. Some of y'all, your problem is you dream too much. You dreaming so much, you ain't doing no work. But God told me very closely, wake up in the morning and dream of the Nobel Prize, but get up and make the bed. But I'll tell you right now, you might not be in control of what the world gives you, but you're always in control of what you accept. This life is not an external battle, my people. This life is an internal war. Your greatest battle is here. So my question I want to ask you right now is, what are the things that are in your control that you can change right now? You can control and change the internal dialogue that you're having within yourself.
Life is fun.
There's opportunity to get stronger, and get smarter, and get faster, and get tougher, and get more stable, and get more resilient, and get better.
Never lose yourself on the way to the top. Wow, what amazing advice for you and me. Your days are the pockets and instruments of genius. Get those right, your life will take care of itself.
We feed, we'll build, and what we starve will die. Time and focus are the most true valuable tools we have as people.
I've stayed on the warpath, which is right where you know that you belong. If you blink, it means it's time to fortify your will to make it stronger.
Baby, wait, I'm going to do something.
It doesn't change who I am. What I'm going through does not change who I am.
You're gonna make some mistakes if you want to do something out here.
Every single day.
4 words that'll change your life. I do it anyways. Tired? I do it anyways. No support? I do it anyways. Scared shitless? I do it anyways. Afraid of failure? I do it anyways. Fear of rejection? I do it anyways.
I'm at the point in my life right now where I'm just locking in. I can't keep worrying about distractions and things that ain't serving my purpose, because everything I do now depends on how my future looks. So I'm locked in and I'm focused.
I want you to be horrified, terrified of sitting on the sidelines and doing nothing. That is what I want you to be afraid of. Waking up in 6 days or 6 weeks or 6 years